I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, you know, we was at Cassie's birthday.
That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Yo, Lauren, I cracked you up.
You know what I'm saying? Like Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me. You know, I want to get into real estate. I want you to teach me all your, you know what I mean, like your business secrets. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
Katt Williams just dropped another shocker, and this one's got people talking fast. He's not done speaking on what's been going on behind the scenes in the industry. And now, folks are saying he might know the real story behind Diddy and Nipsey Hussle's connection. Nobody knows exactly how Diddy's legal battle will play out. But one thing's for sure, some long-standing questions might finally get answered.
I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, you know, we was at Cassie's birthday.
People are starting to ask, what kind of situation was Nipsey pulled into, and why? And how does Katt Williams even know all this? If you've been following the drama, you've probably seen Lauren London's name mentioned in Diddy's case, and that alone has raised eyebrows across social media. Some are wondering how she got caught up in this and what her role really was. Here's where things take a turn. Word is, Lauren knew about Diddy's controversial history way before things went public. She was reportedly aware of how he treated Cassie and had already seen how his name kept coming up in complicated situations. And here's the part people can't believe. There are online rumors suggesting Lauren once had a close connection to Diddy, similar to others in his circle. So after all that, folks are questioning why she would go on to introduce Nipsey to him in the first place.
The biggest rapper at the time, everything's great. By the way, isn't she? Lauren is the one that introduced Nip to Diddy. Diddy couldn't even get to Nip, even though he had ties in LA. It was Lauren that brought Nip to him.
But this isn't just coming from speculation. Nipsey himself said it on the record. During his Breakfast Club interview, he clearly said, "Lauren's the one who introduced me to Puff." That one statement opened the floodgates. Now everyone's trying to figure out what was really going on behind closed doors. The streets, and a whole lot of Nipsey fans, are saying Lauren might have played a way bigger role than just being the loyal partner in the background. People are starting to wonder if she was more involved than we all thought. Some even believe she might have been positioned to keep tabs on Nipsey, like she was the one making sure he stayed in line. Was she close to him just out of love, or was there another layer to it all?
You know what I'm saying? Like Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me. You know, I want to get into real estate. I want you to teach me all your, you know what I mean, like your business secrets. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
It's getting deep, because this supposed connection between Nipsey and Diddy wasn't just casual. In one interview, Diddy himself said that Nipsey came to him wanting to learn how I do business, how I make my moves. That line right there, folks aren't taking it lightly. It's got people raising eyebrows and asking questions. Why did that sound so loaded? And after Nipsey's tragic passing, a lot of folks started rewatching old interviews and revisiting who he was connected to. That Diddy connection suddenly started looking real strange to a lot of people. Was Diddy's influence helpful? Or was it more dangerous than anyone realized? Now throw Katt Williams into the mix, and the fire just got turned up. Katt's been speaking loud about this, saying that artists who get close to Diddy always seem to pay a steep price. And when you line up the names, Cassie, Meek Mill, YK Osiris, French Montana, Craig Mack, Danity Kane, it really does make you wonder. Each of them has faced their own public struggles, and the patterns are getting too loud to ignore. People are talking, and they're saying this whole mentorship Diddy had going on with Nipsey felt off from the jump.
I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times, just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Now that old clips of them together are resurfacing, all those quiet whispers are turning into full-blown conversations. Fans are questioning whether Diddy's interest in Nipsey was really just about business, or if there was something deeper going on behind the scenes. One particular clip has folks side-eyeing hard. Diddy's caught on camera watching Nipsey in a way that's got people raising questions. He's seen licking his lips while the camera zooms in, and Nipsey, just vibing to music in the studio, seems totally unaware of what's happening. It's got people replaying that moment over and over, trying to figure out the real dynamic. And this is where Katt Williams' past claims hit different. Remember when Katt said he turned down $50 million, not once, but 4 times, just to keep his peace and self-respect? He even mentioned Diddy tried to bring him into something he wasn't cool with, but Katt wasn't having it, and stepped away immediately.
And next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at him, like waiting. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you notice to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you punch them in the mouth, threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Even actor Terrence Howard hinted at a similar experience. He said Diddy approached him for a business collaboration, but things shifted, and he backed out before it got out of hand. Now people online are connecting dots, speculating that maybe Nipsey tried to keep it strictly professional, and when that didn't sit right with Diddy, tension started building. Whatever really happened, this story just keeps getting more complicated, and people aren't done digging yet. Now when it comes to Lauren and Diddy, the streets have been loud. Some old photos popped back up, and let's just say, people are not letting it slide. In the pics, Lauren and Diddy are looking real close. And the wildest part? Nipsey's standing right there in the background, looking like an extra in his own relationship. That image alone had people asking, what was really going on? But things got even stranger after Nipsey's passing. Lauren sat down for an interview with Angie Martinez, and while it started off emotional, something she said had folks doing a double take. She shared that it was Diddy who helped her through her grieving process, which sounds supportive on the surface. But then she dropped a quote from Diddy that left everyone shook. She said Diddy told her, "Look, boo, you've shown the world what it looks like to love and support a man. Now show them what it looks like when it all falls apart. That's your responsibility." Huh? People instantly picked up on the word boo, which just so happened to be a nickname Nipsey used for her. Why would Diddy be using a nickname that held so much meaning in Lauren and Nipsey's relationship? Unless there was something else behind their bond that we don't know about? That moment set off alarms for a lot of fans. Meanwhile, Nipsey was out here staying focused, building independently, and staying away from industry politics. But Lauren? She had access. She had doors open to elite circles. And once she brought Nipsey into those spaces, Diddy included, everything changed. That's when the chaos started. Even former Bad Boy affiliate Gene Deal came forward, dropping serious warnings. He said there's danger in asking for certain things in this business. He even recalled how Nipsey once told him that he wanted his music to have the same timeless energy as Biggie's. And that alone made people wonder what pressure came.
All catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. All lies will be exposed. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you will tell it.
I know so many things I shouldn't know. When I walk in a room, heads go down.
Life After Death. That was Biggie's final album. And just let that title sink in for a second. That album dropped right after Biggie passed. And now fans are pointing out how that same phrase took on a chilling meaning when it came to Nipsey. According to Gene Deal, that might have been one of Nipsey's biggest missteps, wanting to follow in Biggie's musical legacy while bringing Diddy into the mix. Gene said once Diddy stepped in, the whole energy shifted. Nipsey started spending more time at Diddy's mansion than he did at the studio. And from that point on, things got real different. People around him noticed. Nipsey wasn't his usual self. He looked tired, worn out, like something heavy was weighing on him. Fans picked up on the change quick. They started asking if maybe Diddy saw that Nipsey couldn't be molded like the others. Nipsey was sharp, grounded, and outspoken. He wasn't trying to play Hollywood games. Now here's where it gets even messier. Some online voices are saying Diddy might have had his eyes on Lauren too. They claim that after Nipsey's passing, he tried to slide into that space like she was his next move. But people ain't buying the idea that it was about comfort or care. Let's be honest. Diddy's track record when it comes to the women he's dated hasn't exactly been great. Take Cassie. Folks still talk about how that relationship looked more like control than love. And the stories tied to Kim Porter, the mother of his kids, left fans heartbroken. There were long-standing rumors that she faced years of emotional difficulty while in that world. So when people say Diddy was trying to be there for Lauren, it raised questions fast. This didn't feel like compassion. It felt like strategy. Because when it comes to Diddy, the word on the street is his version of grief doesn't look like healing. It looks like power moves.
Now, you taking a spiritual person who's asking for something. He said, I wanted that same feel as life after death. That same feel was that Biggie got and he went on to sell about 10 million albums or 10 million copies. I was saying, you gotta watch what you say to demons because it just might come true.
When Biggie passed, Diddy dropped a Grammy-winning tribute, and just like that, his solo career took off. Some say he turned pain into profit. Then when Kim Porter passed, Diddy stepped into the spotlight again, this time as the heartbroken single father and spiritual family man. But behind the scenes, people were still whispering that his lifestyle hadn't changed much at all. Then came Nipsey's death. And guess who showed up on social media again? Diddy, posting about Lauren, speaking on healing, sharing tributes like he was part of that legacy. But folks noticed something strange. Every time someone beloved in the culture passes, Diddy finds a way to make the spotlight land right back on him. So now people are asking, was Diddy really mourning? Or was he positioning himself once again, trying to lock in another legacy moment? Rumors have been flying that he saw Nipsey as someone he could attach his name to, someone respected, independent, and deeply loved. But for any of that to happen, someone would have had to open that door. And a lot of people online are pointing to Lauren. As for Katt Williams, he saw all this coming long before headlines started flying. Before the recent legal troubles, before the public started paying attention, Katt had already warned that something wasn't right. He said it wasn't just about the glitzy events or sketchy deals, it was about setups, control, and leverage. And now that everything's unraveling, the internet is in full detective mode. One user straight up said they believe Lauren was put in place to be with Nipsey. Now, whether that's just a wild theory or something deeper, one thing's clear: people aren't just watching anymore, they're questioning everything. Let's not forget, Lauren gave a public thank you to Diddy during Nipsey's funeral. And now, with everything coming out, people are looking back at that moment in a whole new light. Was it just a genuine show of appreciation? Or was it something deeper? Something tied to everything we're now seeing unfold? One person online put it like this: Diddy did the same thing with Biggie, jumped on the album, then collected royalties for years. That statement alone got folks buzzing, because when it comes to Diddy, his history in the industry is full of questions. With all these whispers of manipulation and power plays, fans are starting to wonder, could Lauren end up taking the stand? Was she caught up in something bigger than we thought? Or was she moving with full awareness of what was happening? And when it comes to Nipsey, some are even questioning if this whole situation runs deeper than anyone's ready to admit. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Lauren was simply grieving and trying to stay strong? Or was there a hidden agenda in play from the start? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button if you're locked in with Dramasip, and make sure you subscribe and share this video. This story's far from over, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. See you on the next one.